Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 373 based on novel. So let's start. Not good. The devil fruit is on Gamma. That is the last devil fruit in this world. Stop him. At this time, whether it was Sol Wuji, the servant of the devil, Emperor Lin, and Mekl, the four looked at the heart of the dark green Gamma, a miniature agate like agate, the red and evil fruit, beating slowly, seems to have slowly merged with its heart. Never let Gamma die. Sol, you go. At this moment, Mekl said. At the same time, Sol Wuji, demon servant, Emperor Lin, Sol, the leader of the 4 7-star fighting immortals, the speed skyrocketed, and shot towards the dying Gamma, trying to stop it. It's too late. This time, I'll show you what a demon is. Welcome all of you to witness this great moment together, Gamma said to himself, and immediately his body suddenly collided with the white arrow. Without any defense, without any unnecessary actions, the white arrow's body turned into a flame of holy white light. Violently it burned Gamma's body, and the center of its arrow was heavily inserted into Gamma's chest and crossed it. The appearance was extremely miserable. Attacked by the sacred arrow, the dark green blood mist on Gamma's body was instantly shattered, and the missing ripe devil fruit was quietly suspended in Gamma's heart, like a heart. Gently beating, every beating, will make this world full of unease. It seems that this agate red devil fruit, which seems to be only the size of a fist, is more like a cage, which holds a demon king, a real master that is enough to pacify this place. Once released, I am afraid this world will face severe catastrophe. Fast back. The 4 of them were shocked when they saw this, and they immediately retreated, because from Gamma, they truly felt the throbbing of death. Devil's will. Gamma looked at the 4 of them so timidly, and snorted coldly. Immediately, the body was burned with white light flames, and the whole body quickly melted, turning into a dark green evil mist that enveloped the devil fruit, and the devil fruit still remained. It's quiet beating. Do it. The dark green evil mist around them continued to spread, and where the mist spread, even the powerhouses who were at the peak of the 7-star fighting immortals felt a lot of trouble. The devil fruits on the top have greed. This is the last devil fruit, and the only one that is ripe. Whoever gets it will probably be qualified enough to step into the peak of the great thousand world. Because just a half-ripe devil fruit has changed Lin Fengyao's quality, not to mention the power contained in this truly ripe devil fruit, which is absolutely unimaginable by human beings. Boom. Without waiting for the 4 of them to start, the devil fruit wrapped in the dark green evil mist seemed to be pulled, and it seemed to have found a suitable host, so it went directly to the dying Xiao Yan. Not good. At this moment, the pupils of the 4 of them shrank tightly, but Sol Wuji and the demon servant were quick-witted, and 2 stern and gloomy horses shot out, with majestic killing intent, facing Xiao Yang's location. Go! Bastard, in the end, this guy was actually cheap. Seeing Xiao Yang being so lucky, Hun Wuji couldn't help but said angrily. The devil fruit gently escaped from the dark green evil mist and slowly poured into the corner of Xiao Yang's mouth, and at this time Xiao Yang was already in a state of suspended animation. The continuous operation, I am afraid it has already turned into a corpse without temperature. Xiao Yang also felt something, instinctively twisted his teeth and chewed the food in his mouth little by little. In just a moment, the onyx red devil fruit was slowly bitten by Xiao Yang, and a trace of dark green liquid spread along Xiao Yang's body towards Xiao Yang's limbs. At the same time, Xiao Yang's dying breath was like an ancient giant dragon in a deep sleep. The breath suddenly soared, and the resurgence of the breath made several strong people present feel a real depression. Crash. 2 sharp attacks came to Xiao Yang's side in an instant, and Xiao Yang could be killed in a blink of an eye, but Xiao Yang's body was seriously injured, but he was out of control and stood up suddenly, with a touch of dark green. The fog shrouded it, so that the 2 sharp attacks, when they came into contact with the fog, were like hitting cotton. They did not bounce back, but dissipated easily. What the is going on here? Seeing such a dramatic scene above the sky, Sol Wuji's sinister gaze and the stern gaze of the demon servant stared at Xiao Yang, who was enveloped in dark green mist, and lost his voice. In the heart of the demon servant, a strange aura slowly sprouted. Moreover, following the attacks of the 2 of them, Xiao Yang's figure slowly drowned in front of everyone, and the dark green aura of sorrow was completely wrapped, leaving only an extremely silent cold void. Everyone who came to my star continent is really shameless. At this time, watching Xiao Yang's situation stabilize temporarily, Emperor Lin suddenly jumped into the air. Green aura lingering behind his body transformed into a green dragon, crawling under its feet. The breath of the half-step 8-star fighting immortal was released, staring at a few people. Old guy, get out of the way. At this time, looking at Xiao Yang, who was protected by the dark green blood mist, there seemed to be some kind of mutation happening. Before the demon servant had time to think, his body rioted and roared away at him. From the blood mist, he smelled a truly terrifying force that moved here. It seems that that guy is the purest and most tyrannical, and he is just a fake. Whether it is the soul or the demon blood in the body, it slowly becomes awe-inspiring. Absolutely impossible. The demon servant's dark green pupils shrank tightly, stepping through the void to face Xiao Yang on the dark underworld. The demon blood and power in his body trembled uncontrollably, and as he got closer to Xiao Yang the flames became more and more terrifying. In the dark green evil mist. Where am I? Where? Xiao Yang raised his palm and gently rubbed his forehead, trying to make himself remember what just happened. Just after he tried his best to resist the arrow of light and failed, the power in his body was destroyed by the power of divine light. His facial features and even perception disappeared completely, and he completely entered a state of near death. At that time, Xiao Yang faintly fainted. After realizing what Gamma had done to him, after taking a rest, his body that had been depleted was like bamboo shoots after a spring rain, full of vitality. But at this time, the void where Xiao Yang was located was completely an unknown and different space. The space was vast and there was no life, like a dead world of the undead. It was just a dark green mist like a liquid, filling the entire space. Different space. This is. Xiao Yang raised his hand, but found that he was only a touch of soul body. Obviously, the soul body entered the different dimension together through the strange action of the last Gamma, but at this time, a small part of Xiao Yang's soul body, the circles are like the evil lines of reptiles, filling the whole body. Even Xiao Yang found that in this space, both his soul power and the power of holy flame were out of control. This place was like a forbidden place that was truly isolated from the world, a dead zone. Looking up, this alien space full of indifference gave Xiao Yang's blood an indescribable comfort. The will of the devil finally fits perfectly. Seeing Xiao Yang's appearance like this, a dark green mist wriggled in the different dimension, and it condensed into Gamma's figure, illusorily floating in front of Xiao Yang. Only when the devil fruit is seriously injured can it exert its power to the maximum extent. It was also discovered by Gamma after his teacher and Lin Fengya devoured the devil fruit. At that time, Xiao Yang was on the verge of death in order to resist the arrows of light, and Gamma used a secret method to fuse the ripe devil fruit with his heart in order to avoid the search of Lin Fengya and others. The power of the fruit was all vented to Xiao Yang's body. Today, Xiao Yang's body, standing on the body of the dark underworld, is constantly being changed and amplified by the devil fruit, and this alien space deep in the soul is carrying out the most important inheritance of the devil's will. Gamma, what the are you doing? Xiao Yang asked with a frown. Actually, don't you know? Hearing Xiao Yang's questioning, Gamma smiled evilly, and his dark green evil pupils slowly stared at Xiao Yang. I'm already dead. Xiao Yang still couldn't believe it. No, you are not dead yet, it was the devil fruit that saved you, but now you are no different from being dead. Gamma said earnestly. Let me out, Xiao Yang said solemnly. There are demon servants in a semi-demon state outside. Once you leave here, you will fall into their hands. When it devours you, it will turn into a real demon, not to mention the strong angels and soul Wuji. If you go out now, you will die. Gamma smiled, but he was calm and did not have any expression. Xiao Yang heard the words and glanced away at Gamma, and found that this guy looks very strange now. It seems that he has completely fallen, and the aura in front of him is just the last trace of soul power. Actually, you should know that in this election, the Heavenly Star Continent had the intervention of the Soul Palace and the Holy See, and it is impossible for the royal family to survive under these powerhouses, even if the Emperor has broken through to the half-step 8-star level, or even the Princess awakened the power of the stars. Gamma said to himself. Because all of this is already the masterpiece of the traveling angel Mekhl. Since the initial failure of the Devil's Nest, she has been brooding about it, and secretly arranged several powerful 7-star fighting immortals and a number of subordinates in the Holy See to the hiding place prepared for them by Lin Feng. Even in the panicky situation now, the number of people from the Holy See powerhouses is obvious to all. Do you know what they are doing? Gamma continued. They are waiting for you. Xiao Yang was also temporarily quiet, listening to Gamma say. One is to wait for me, and I want to ask me about the whereabouts of my last devil fruit, and the other is to capture you and exploit the holy flame fire on you, because the holy flame's sacred aura is very consistent with the aura of their holy see. A roving angel with holy flame, his strength and status may surpass that of the cardinal in an instant. And there's one more important reason. Mekl wants to kill all the royal family of Tianqing continent and those who know devil fruits here. At the end of the sentence, Gamma had a hint of sarcasm on his face. Isn't she afraid of attracting sanctions from the superior? Xiao Yang asked in surprise. Sanctions? She only needs to tell the outside world that it was an unintentional loss caused by obliterating the devil, and the rest of the Holy See will smooth it out for her. Gamma Zaidu said, and just after he finished speaking, the dark green mist on Xiao Yang's body was rushing like boiling water. Stand up. What's the matter? Xiao Yang felt the blood energy in his body squirming, and bursts of tyrannical power diffused out of his body uncontrollably. That power, which has never been seen or heard before, is swallowing up the origin of his soul with the momentum of thunder, trying to strip himself away. This is when the power of the devil fruit begins to fuse and erode you. If you can resist it, you will be able to possess the will of the devil and control it. Otherwise, like Lin Fengya, you will become a servant of the devil. Just let me give you the last big gift. Devil's blood burial. After Gamma finished speaking, countless dark green mists in the alien space shattered into pieces, turning into pieces of monsters, containing extremely majestic energy, one after another, surrounding Xiao Yang in a very regular manner, seems to be protecting Xiao Yang, and also seems to want to swallow Xiao Yang. After the blink of an eye, a terrifying roar erupted from Xiao Yang's illusory soul body. Surrounded by dark green blood mist, those dark green blood mists are like greedy devils, they are constantly strewn around on Xiao Yang's soul body, absorbing all his vitality. Once this soul body is broken, Xiao Yang will also completely fall here. But the strange thing is that no matter how they absorb it, it seems that this weak soul body is like an eternal long lamp that disappears and is reborn, one after another. That is the characteristic of immortal fire, immortality. As long as there is a breath left, it can continuously restore vitality. Just because of this, are you trying to obliterate me? Dream. Xiao Yang's pupils shrank suddenly, and the amber flame soul fire shot out from Xiao Yang's eyes as if penetrating the limitations of time and space. Crash. 1 minute, 2 minutes, I don't know how long it took. Xiao Yang didn't know how many times he screamed, but at a certain moment, the different dimensions shattered like glass, and countless evil fragments were strung into his own. In the soul, it returned to its own body. Soul power, with an unknown power that is not lost to the strongest in the world, slowly overlapped with the physical body. At this moment, above the sky, one after another screaming and angering you, it seems that a demon is being born from this world. Suddenly, just as the two overlapped, Xiao Yang's clothes exploded directly, and dark green blood mist spread out from the cracks on his body, and even the pores on Xiao Yang's body were rapidly expanding, faintly changing. It must be inflated like a balloon that deflates at any time. Block me. Xiao Yang had just taken control of his body, and before he could detect the situation in his body, he suddenly roared as he looked at this dazzling and vast demon power. The power of demons ignored Xiao Yang. After they eroded Xiao Yang's limbs, even Xiao Yang's blood and skin were eroded and turned into a strange dark green, above the originally deep pupils. The gorgeous flames and the dark green evil glow couldn't argue, and the hair behind him also grew wildly at this moment, and in just a short moment, it swelled to dozens of meters. The mutation is still going on, but this kind of mutation is actually showing a change in the good side. At the same time, Xiao Yang's aura suddenly soared, breaking through the 6-star Doze Yan, the 7-star Doze Yan, and even the it's still increasing. It seems that a mature devil fruit can really turn people into a devil and master the most perfect power of the devil. So boy, be quiet as my sacrifice. Seeing Xiao Yang's appearance, the demon servant's body exploded, his palms stretched out, and a demonic power that surpassed the heavens and the earth swept out. At this moment, Fang is the real change of scenery. Welcome, please remember the address of this site, read it on your mobile phone, so that you can read the latest chapter of the novel Fighting the Sky God of Yang Emperor at any time. 2 demons. There's a good show to watch now, but it's a pity for this devil fruit. On the flat ground in the distance, Mekl looked like an ordinary woman, her beautiful eyes projecting towards the sky. For a time, a white glow appeared all over the body, and above the white glow, a scorching sacred pattern, like the sacred light under the command of an angel, illuminated the world, and was about to wipe out all darkness. As for the Emperor and Han Wuji, they were stuck in the air at this time and chose to act according to chance. After all, Xiao Yang had devoured the devil fruit in its mature state, and even they were extremely afraid of the changes hidden under the blood mist all over his body. The changes on Xiao Yang's body continued, and they did not dare to act rashly. 2 cowards. Soul snorted coldly, white armor appeared on top of her body, and a white halo bathed in holy light enveloped her whole body, setting off her breath spotlessly, and immediately stepped through the void, facing the same Xiao Yang left. She is loyal to Mekl, and Xiao Yang is the main target this time. Even if Xiao Yang is tortured by Gamma with devil fruit, she will bring Xiao Yang's body back. This is her responsibility, and it is her proof of allegiance to the traveling angel. Boom. With a sound, the dark underworld sage didn't do anything, but the dark green blood mist on his shoulders suddenly spread out in the form of energy tides. In that energy tide, there was a suppressed awe, as if a heinous demon is announcing his birth to the world. Just when the demon servant's palm touched the latter, a monstrous arm protruded from the dark green mist, and then easily resolved the demon servant's blow that was enough to obliterate the powerhouse below the 8-star Dozian. The demon servant noticed, his body suddenly shrank, and he retracted his arm at the fastest speed, but his arm was entangled with a chain cast by a cold and hot, polarized power, making it break free. Not even the slightest bit, the demon servant couldn't help but let out a scream, so that the demon blood in his body was dimmed. With a loud voice, the dark green arm slammed violently, and the body of the demon servant suddenly turned sideways, falling towards a mountain above the mountain with a strange arc of 180 degrees. Crack! The demon servant just fell, and the small mountain collapsed and evaporated instantly as if it had been dropped by a meteor. One blow threw the demon servant out like a dead dog, and a roar that seemed to be trapped in a mad monster spread out from the blood mist. Tick-tock! The deafening voice just spread, and the countless evil and dark clouds in the entire sky were dissipated in an instant. The sky was bathed in the dawn of the sun, and on the shoulders of the dark underworld, a sharp depression figure, covered with dark green blood droplets slowly dripping. Every time the dark green blood drops, the crisp sound is like death in the ears of several people above the void. At this time, Xiao Yang can no longer be regarded as a human being. His body and skin have completely turned into a demonic dark green, which is evil and eerie. Even his black hair has grown wildly to his knees like a woman, with the help of dark green evil hair cover, a pair of bloodthirsty dark green pupils, coveting all the creatures in this world. That feeling is like a demon that is above the world, descending on his territory, ready to turn all the humans here into his own food. That's a trace of blood spilled from the corner of the demon servant's mouth, barely crawling out of the collapsed mountain, when his evil eyes lifted up and looked at Xiao Yang's figure above the sky, a sense of awe filled his heart. That is the devil. He is the real devil who has inherited the will of the devil. And in the final analysis, he is just a servant of the devil, even if he has mastered a part of the power of the devil, so what? In front of a real demon, the kind of coercion that comes from the blood and the soul is defeated without a fight. There is no suspense at all in this kind of demon battle. Impossible. Stop pretending to be a ghost. Go to hell. The dark green pupils of the demon servant shrank tightly, and his body instantly swelled hundreds of times. Countless dark green blood all over his body, like the deadly venom in the mouth of a poisonous snake, blasted towards Xiao Yang. That was the source of the devil. Obviously, the devil servant panicked at this moment. He knew that if Xiao Yang could not be killed, then he would be the one who failed. In a world, there can never be two demons at the same time. This is their pride from the blood of demons. The dark green blood continued to corrode the void. Suddenly, the void was completely shattered. Countless small space vortices permeated. These small vortices lead to different spaces. 9 lives. Xiao Yang. Lord Xiao Yang. At this time, the battle on the ground was slowly coming to an end, and the powerhouses of the Soul Palace and the royal family had each stepped aside, waiting for the battle to decide the outcome on the sky, and even the powerhouse of the Holy See hiding in the dark. The person was also staring at him. The princess and Ji Xian, with the mighty tens of thousands of elites behind them, watched the desperate actions of the demon servant, and their palms were sweating. That level of attack has surpassed their understanding, but even so, once Xiao Yang had any change, the two would not hesitate to bring their elites into the battlefield. There can only be one devil in this world. Seeing the demon servant's actions, Xiao Yang's face, which was covered by evil hair, suddenly showed a strange smile, and the dark green blood mist all over his body rapidly coagulate. Give me that power, spit it out. A sinister voice suddenly sounded in the void, shaking the minds of everyone present. Boom. As soon as the voice fell, Xiao Yang moved, and his palms were wrapped in dark green blood mist to form layers of energy shackles. Above those energy shackles, a touch of ancient and deep lines slowly filled the whole body. Look carefully. Those lines turned out to be constructed into a strange pattern, forming an evil formation on Xiao Yang's body. That kind of demon pattern mobilized all the demon power in Xiao Yang's body in an orderly manner, and exerted all the power of the demon. The demon servant trembled rapidly, the muscles in his body gradually became exhausted, and even the dark green blood water dried up and trembled like a flame, burning, bursting out with the most evil power that burns everything, with overwhelming force, blasting towards Xiao Yang. Go! He knew that by burning his own demon origin, Xiao Yang had to be completely wiped out. He only had one chance, either he died or Xiao Yang was destroyed. The fists wrapped in dark green blood and energy shackles are constantly rubbing violently on the void, rioting, and the power contained in the two has exceeded the 7-star category, and has truly reached 8 stars. Boom. The figures of the two instantly overlapped. Xiao Yang's fist breathed smoothly, breaking through the barrier of blood and water, directly hitting the heart of the demon servant, and suddenly pierced through his body. How is that possible? At the last moment, the demon servant saw a flash of amber in Xiao Yang's pupils. That power is the fire of holy flame. However, the power of demons is sinister and evil, and the fire of holy flame is sacred and inviolable. How can the two powers be in harmony? It is a pity that with Xiao Yang's attack, the vitality of the demon servant is rapidly drained, and death is only a matter of time. At this moment, the other onlookers looked at the demon Xiao Yang who stepped into the void, and a wave of depression emerged involuntarily. Lin Fengya's half-demon can't stop the attack of the demon Xiao Yang? The demon servant quickly fell to the ground. At this time, his skin began to dry and cracked violently. It was obvious that all his vitality had disappeared and he was about to fall. Devil's will. A real demon. The fallen demon servant had a helpless expression on his face, and he seemed to know his end just after the blow. Even if he is a half-demon, he is infinitely close to the 8-star fighting immortal, but when he fights with a real demon, he will only fall. Crack. With a sound, the demon servant in the half-dead state quickly fell, and the demon Xiao Yang was like a bloodthirsty monster, rushing towards the demon servant, in front of everyone, constantly absorbing the last remaining part of the demon servant. A hint of demonic power. So at this time, the demon Xiao Yang fixed the body of the demon servant Lin Fengya on the top of the void, wrapped in a dark green mist, constantly absorbing the last vitality of the demon servant. I am afraid it is only a matter of time before it disappears completely. With Xiao Yang's action, the violent and evil demonic aura on Xiao Yang's body was being suppressed little by little. After absorbing the power of the demon servant's body, his pupils slowly became clear and transparent. From the beginning to the end, a special power pervaded the flame ring to protect Xiao Yang's mind, and his soul would not be corroded by demons. Now, with Xiao Yang's recovery, it is only a matter of time to temporarily suppress the power of demons. This demon. In the void, Soul Wuji stared gloomily at the demon Xiao Yang, who was above the top of the void, and said angrily. Originally Xiao Yang was just a small character, but now he has turned into a big devil who is almost related to the final battle, and judging from the fierce methods Xiao Yang has just dealt with the demon servant, this guy is probably really enough to threaten them. Because the aura emanating from the body of the demon Xiao Yang has surpassed the 7-star level and clearly reached the 8-star level. 8-star fighting immortal, even Soul Wuji is helpless. However, it's strange that the 8-star Do Xian has not surpassed the approaching point of this continent. The superior who controls the Do Emperor Xiao continent will come in person. Why is there no breath now? Du Yi glanced at the countless Soul Hall powerhouses below, wondering. In the sky, sunlight scattered directly on the body of the demon Xiao Yang, magnifying the evil energy without limit. Demon Xiao Yang's face is hideous, and the dark green evil aura is extremely large, but at this time, under the watchful eyes of countless people, he slowly regained his composure. His palms have grown a little bit at the same time, like the sharpest claws of demon beasts. On the dark green skin of his body, a dense dark green demon phantom is completely imprinted on it. Dawn of light. Just when everyone was puzzled, a ray of dawn flashed like lightning, slowly filling the sky and rippling. Devil. It's really unexpected. Above the dawn, there were two women in Yangting. They were wearing snow-white boots and white dresses that rendered their breath like real fairies. But no one dared to underestimate them, because both of them are high-level officials of the Holy See. The two guardians of the Holy See? Seeing that the entire sky was enveloped by a bright aura, Soul Wuji couldn't help but lose his voice. I don't know why, the strength of the two Holy Sea guards, Sol and Yas, has reached the point of perfection of the 7-star fighting immortals at this time, and the white dawn behind them spread out, and the entire sky of the tens of thousands of territories in the Skystar City was covered with a grey aura. That is the realm, the taste of the enchantment. The two of them joined forces to use such a huge means to wrap the core of the entire Tianqing continent, making the controllers of the Do Di Sifang continent unable to sense it. Do they want to obliterate everyone here? Soul Wuji was looking at a certain place in the mountain range below, where the breath was definitely an angel. Quietly retreating, Soul Wuji headed towards the army of Soul Palace below. This time they were fully prepared, and in the previous battle, Soul Palace continent had collected tens of thousands of soul bodies. The 2 Holy Sea Guards, that's not enough. Let Mekl get out by himself, I can consider keeping her whole body. The dawn continued to spread, but when the demon Xiao Yang above the sky was affected, Xiao Yang's body shook with dark green evil energy and returned to his normal form. The invisible energy ripples actually trembled this bright enchantment. Bold. Lord Touring Angel is also something that evil people like you can yell at. Wait until the 2 of us capture you and send you to the Holy Sea. You are an alien who surpasses the normal understanding of human beings, and should not exist in this world. The Holy Sea angels and bishops will give you the final judgment. Go ahead and capture it. As soon as the words fell, the 2 figures burst out at the same time, roaring at Xiao Yang. The 2 Holy Sea Guards who are qualified to be promoted to angels. Let the blood of the 2 of you come to pay homage to Gamma. Seeing this, Xiao Yang was not going to say anything to them, because Xiao Yang had heard of it long ago. Talking about the strictness of the Holy Sea, those who can enter it are the best who have been screened at various levels. They have pure hearts, and they have always been angels and gods for life. Even if they sacrifice their lives for gods, they will do nothing. At the same time, a wicked smile appeared on the corner of Xiao Yang's mouth. He waved his big hand, the dazzling dark green mist on his body was under his control, and turned into a demonic phantom directly behind him, attached to Xiao Yang's back. That feeling is as if behind Xiao Yang, there is a real demon king descending. He is commanding, teaching Xiao Yang how to use the power of demons, and now Xiao Yang, relying on the holy flame, Fenju and Di Yang in his body, the ring temporarily suppressed the backlash of the demon's power. Xiao Yang seems to have found that the power of the devil is more powerful and terrifying than the holy flame. Even the current Xiao Yang only draws a trace of power from the sea of devils. Power, I am afraid that the survival of this continent is just a matter of second thoughts. Even in the end, Xiao Yang found out that the power of the devil had nothing to do with Fenju and the Emperor Yenjie, because without the help of these 3, Xiao Yang wanted to temporarily suppress the power of the devil, it would be completely nonsense. The erosion of the power of the devil is hard to prevent, it directly corrodes the soul, and attacks the most vulnerable part of human limbs. Demon machine. Fortunately, Xiao Yang succeeded. Although it was only temporary, it was also successful. Moreover, after temporarily controlling the power of the devil, Xiao Yang's power instantly soared to the 8-star fighting immortal. According to Xiao Yang's estimation, his current power has already, after reaching the initial stage of the 8-star fighting immortals, the power of the soul in the body, the strength and speed of the body, etc., have been enhanced a lot because of the inhuman torture of the devil. This battle will be ended by me personally. The guy who covets this continent will stay here forever today. After examining the changes in his body, Xiao Yang raised his head, looked at the 2 angel guards who were attacking him, and sneered. This smile, mixed with endless contempt and ridicule, seems to be wanton, telling the 2 angel guards that you have any tricks, just use them. I am the devil, invincible. He is the only devil in this world. Judgment light waterfall. Looking at Xiao Yang's motionless figure, Sol and Yas were not prepared to hold back any hands. They shouted loudly, bursts of high-pitched sacred notes burst out from their mouths, turning into countless. The rainbow light of the light pattern, with the sacred aura that suppresses the power of the devil, falls vertically from the sky. That kind of shocking scene is like an upside-down waterfall, with countless rainbow lights flying. The power and purifying power contained in it are indescribable. The sky was originally completely shrouded by the light barrier, but at this time, with the addition of this huge sky that fills the entire sky, the shock has transcended human cognition. It seems to be crying from the sky, and it seems there are ignorant people who are provocative to the sky. Devil, soul shadow. Seeing countless sacred rainbow lights falling down the sky, and the target was him, Xiao Yang snorted coldly, without any fear. Even the blood of the demons that had just been suppressed in his body get boiling. The blood of the devil is rejoicing and rejoicing. It seems that only this extremely tyrannical force can burst into such a joyful madness. If there is unparalleled power in this world, then as a demon, it is to trample this power underfoot. For a time, the demon soul shadow behind Xiao Yang suddenly expanded countless times, magnifying the demonic aura of Xiao Yang's body bone marrow countless time. The demon soul shadow is actually like a fighting soul. It is also attached to Xiao Yang's back. When used, it can be expanded countless times. However, the demon soul shadow is different. After casting it, his strength, perception and speed have all been improved to the level of a human being. The level of human beings is far beyond the reach of the fighting spirit. Of course, this was just the lowest form of use that Xiao Yan had just mastered the power of demons. CC. Countless sacred rainbow lights fell on Xiao Yang's demon soul shadows like warm rays of light, and for a while, bursts of burning smell filled the entire sky. Light, devil, these are two extreme powers, just like water and fire, so when these rainbow lights fell on Xiao Yang's dark green demon soul shadow hundreds of meters in size, a whitish mist, uncontrollable, diffuse out. At this time, Xiao Yang's face slowly showed a trace of ugliness. Obviously he underestimated the strength of the two angel guards. Get out of here. Ignoring the miserable roar of the demon soul shadow on his body, Xiao Yang was extremely fast and shot the two guards under the protection of the sky. Demon soul shadow is roaring, in pain, but also angry at the same time. It's a dignified devil, how could it be so tortured by two young 7-star fighting immortals? Moreover, Xiao Yang also knew that if a dignified demon couldn't handle even such a thing, it would only be a disgrace to his name. Boom. Even though the demon soul shadow became unsightly under the continuous attacks of the sky waterfall, Xiao Yang's body suddenly approached the two angel guards. Xiao Yang condensed in his body. Not good. Sol and Yas did not expect that the demonic power of the demon Xiao Yang could break through the sky and approach them. The above scratched up, and at the corner of the mouth, an ancient heavy chant continued. The great angel of light is above, please give me the light of holy light. Sol and Yas seemed to be doing the same thing. The high-pitched chant of Sanskrit made Xiao Yang's mind shake violently. An uncontrollable Sanskrit sound Xiao Yang has been haunting him, disturbing his mind, making him unable to concentrate and mobilize his strength to launch an attack. Otherwise, by virtue of the gathering of two angel guards within 100 meters at this time, a demon in a demon state can definitely make a single blow. Must kill. No, we can't let them release fighting skills of that level, otherwise this space mountain range will be completely shattered, and we can only try the power of space. At the time of crisis, Xiao Yang could only use his teeth, two at the same time. The arm contains the power of the devil, and the long-distance space shuttle handprint is displayed, and the arm stretches directly into it, sending out the most intense two-palm light. Shin Yaoji, poof, fart. And just above the sky, a scorching sun emerged, and when a heart-scorching aura just filled the air, two dark green arms suddenly pierced through the void, and went straight from Sol and Yas's. At the chest, cross it, crack. With a sound, Xiao Yang retracted his arm, but when he just penetrated the chests of the two angel guards, their hearts were suddenly crushed by himself, and because of the power of demons, they just touched their hearts. When it comes to blood, their blood and all their breath are completely swallowed up by their own hands. Wung humming. The burning sun above the sky disappeared slowly because there was no follow-up singing, but the enchantment that enveloped the core circle of the entire Tianxing continent did not disappear with the fall of the two. After being devoured by Xiao Yang's fatal blow, the two guards fell from the sky to the ground below with their bodies stiff like lost flowers and willows. In the final analysis, they were only angel guards. They didn't have access to the power of angels, and they didn't master the resurrection magic. Their hearts were violently wiped out by Xiao Yang, and their vitality was completely swallowed. Susu. Just when the two angel guards just fell to the ground, the corpse was completely unrecognizable, and two extremely weak transparent soul bodies slowly emerged from the smoke. Where to run? Suck it. Susu. Just as the second angel guarding the soul was about to escape, there was an unusually gloomy sneer, like a ghost soul. Boom. Devoured the soul of the angel guarding the perfection of the two 7-star fighting immortals. Soul Wuji's whole body was violently churning with blood mist, and there were faintly countless screams. It was also promoted to the level of half-step 8-star fighting immortal. Do you need help? At this time, Emperor Lin finally realized something and said to Xiao Yang in the sky. No, you go to maintain the royal family. These guys are old rivals. Do you think so, Hall Master Huang Tang of Soul Palace, Soul Wuji? Xiao Yang stood in the sky, his palms had just pierced through the chests of the two angel guards and devoured the vitality and turned into bright red blood. He couldn't help raising his palms. Lick lightly. It seems that all the vitality of the two angel guards just now has slowed down the backlash of the demons in Xiao Yang's body. Xiao Yang, sooner or later you will become a prisoner of our soul hall. At this moment, Hun Wuji burst into laughter. Come on, let me see, the power of the hall master of the soul palace and the two angel guards just now are stronger or weaker. Xiao Yang finished speaking, and walked lightly in the void. The demon soul shadow behind him will release a dark green blood mist, which sets off Xiao Yang's aura to be extremely evil. Devil. Holy flame, this hall master wants it today. Soul Palace powerhouse, listen to my orders. Sacrificing the soul. Looking at Xiao Yang's downward posture, Soul Wuji roared, waved his hand, and a blood furnace was projected by him. At this moment, the aura of the heavens and the earth has become gloomy and strange, and even the enchantment that is enough to send out a trace of angry lament. This video will end here.